This daily Zoom meetings, yeah, like it's becoming like so this like one after the other. We are just having these Zoom meetings and Zoom meetings. I'm just so tired with it.
I know, right? Like I had almost like 6 meetings over the past 2 days. So happy I'm done with Zoom meetings for now.
Ruben, you do realize that this is a Zoom meeting too, right?
Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
But don't get disappointed yet. This isn't your average Zoom meeting. Good evening, all. I'm Crizel Fernandez.
And I'm Ruben Crasto.
We are your hosts this evening. Welcome to the premiere of Classback. Our very first guest is an alumnus of DBIT from the batch of 2020 with a degree in mechanical engineering.
He was also part of the student council for 2 consecutive years as the cultural secretary and then the general secretary. He's currently working as a business development associate at media.net. And that's not all. He actively pursues music on the side and is an upcoming artist in the indie music scene.
So, without any further delay, welcoming Rohan Kamath.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hi
Hi.
Rohan, what's up?
All good, all good. How are you guys?
We are
We are
fine.
good.
How are you?
All good, all good.
So how does it feel like, coming back to college, interacting with students?
It feels good. I mean, I would have definitely preferred if it was more in person,
Yeah.
obviously, but due to the current situation, this is the best we can do. But yeah, I'm thanks for calling me. I'm honored. So
Yeah, no problem, man. Like your name was the first thing that came to mind when we thought of this idea of having like a talk series like this.
thanks a lot, man.
So like, what's been going on in your life these past
So
few days?
it's been 8 months since I got placed, and I started working. And it's a bit weird to not work with your work colleagues in person again,
Yeah.
because I've only heard voices over Google Meets and stuff. But yeah, it's in a way I'm getting used to staying working from home, because my company is in Andheri. I would have to travel one and 1.5 hours every day. So now it's much better. I wake up a little late. My timing is from 12 to 9, so I get up around say, and then I can work. I work throughout the day, and then yeah, that's how it's been going.
Yeah. So now since you're working most of the time, do you find time for music? This is, I think, a question everyone would like want to know.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I can only do music during the weekends now, and music as in a sense, when it comes to songwriting, you need to be in that zone. You need to
Correct.
have an empty mind, because there's only so much that you can. So like, since my day is so busy, I don't get time to actually empty my mind. So that is one way to look at it. When the weekend comes, I can probably put it down. But again, I have so many things going on in my head, it becomes really difficult. But again, it acts like an outlet those 2 days. So that's where most of my music is concentrated. And sometimes after work, if I had a busy day, that's what I tend to lean towards. So yeah, that's how it is going.
Yeah, that's great actually. You're making time for it, despite having a hectic schedule. So like, I really wanted to know, how did you get into music as a whole? Because when I got into college, I just heard of you as like the big musician singing for Vortex, Hysteria. So how did this all start?
Initially, there was a keyboard lying in our house. Okay, my
Yeah.
uncle used to learn. So that's how everything starts. There's something left over by your father or your mom or something. So there was a keyboard left over. So my mom put me for keyboard classes, and those classes were basically, there was a hall, and people used to learn the keyboard and the guitar in the same hall. Okay, and I was really young. I was like 6 7 or something. So even though I was put for keyboard classes, I used to always look at those people playing the guitar, and I always wanted to learn that. I told my sir, I told my dad, but then he was like, "You're too tiny to like hold the guitar, so let it. I mean, once you're older, I'll definitely get into it. But slowly I lost interest of keyboard and I quit that class. And then I started Hindustani classical singing in my colony. And so I pursued that for like 6-7 years. And that is what helped me build my foundation when it comes to singing. And there's this like Trinity. There's something called as 𝐃𝐁𝐈𝐓 𝐖𝐡𝒂𝒂 in
Yeah.
India. So I gave like a couple of exams from there, and then that is how I moved on. And then finally was my phase of learning the guitar. So that is how. So in a way, I've always been in touch with music some way or the other. That's
Yeah.
how it's been.
Yeah, that's great. Even I actually, so I play the piano, and even
Yeah.
I try to stay in touch. Like, even I get busy during the week. So sometimes, even if I can spare like 15 minutes, I just sit
Yeah.
down, play a few songs. You know,
It's
it like
very,
refreshes your, it's
it's
very
ve- yeah,
refreshing.
very refreshing. It
Yeah,
just clears your mind. Anything that you just lost in that period of time, it's just the best feeling
yeah.
ever.
So, what would you say is the impact that music has had on your life?
I think, I mean, at this point of time, it's an essential more than and something that is impacting it, because when it like each and every day, I am in a way, like even when I'm working, I'm listening to music on Spotify, and in a way, I'm in music all the time. But it's just that it's very difficult to make an earning out of an art.
Yeah.
So that's the only like in a way I've also finished my engineering degree. So in a way that's also like in a way hindering for me to taking the jump. But I mean, I think it's like the most essential part of my life. Nothing that I can do without it. So yeah.
And so like, why did you pick engineering? Like, out of all the possible options, was there like a specific reason, or like, I know many people take engineering just because like either their parents tell them, or their friends are taking it, or their neighbor's son is taking it and their parent tells them to take it. So what was your decision?
So in a way I was also influenced by my dad, who's also an engineer.
Okay.
But then I was also very interested in physics, so I took science because of that. And then I joined PACE, which is like an integrated class. So once you're in an integrated class, there's nothing else you see. You just see engineering. And so
that's true.
And we had C, C++, all those languages in school in like 9th, 10th and stuff. And I knew I was not meant for that completely. So so that is why I went in for mechanical engineering. And but yeah, it turned out pretty different as to what I'd expected it in school. I mean, we've all seen that. But yeah, so basically I had no other choice when I was in the junior college. But I don't regret my decision because I had a good time. So
yeah. And how was it like, entering DBIT? What were your expectations when you came to college?
So DBIT was a big step, like a pretty different step as compared to my past, because wherever I'd been to like newer classes or say a junior college, I always knew someone. Okay, I always had friends to go with. When I came to DBIT, the first month I did not know anyone. Everyone was someone who was new. So then I found this one guy who was my senior from school, like 2 years older to me, 2 or 3 years older to me. So I used to like try to talk to him and like figure out how things are in the college because I did not know anyone. And then so slowly, I mean, it was pretty scary at first because this was the first time it was happening to me. But then it was very eye-opening as well to see that there are so many people. Like you are in that nutshell where you think like you know everyone and you know everything, but then you come out and you realize there are so many other people. So that is how it was.
Yeah, I think like the whole concept of degree college is like that. Like you enter as like a nobody because no one knows you when you just enter, and then slowly you build up your relationship with your other classmates and people in your college, and that can really shape up your personality.
Yeah, that's true.
So some of the things that you've done in DBIT, I think the biggest thing was being part of the student council for 2 consecutive years. So how did you like think of joining the student council?
So, how did I think of joining the student council? I mean, so when I was in my second year,
Yeah.
I again I saw that there's so many people around me who are like interested in music, but there's no like proper
Yeah.
group where people come together and discuss music and stuff. So I just thought of starting the music club along with the senior, and we started the whole thing. And that's how I was in touch with the then council, because I needed their help, because I was still in the second year. I needed their help to to go through the process and to establish the whole club and stuff. So then I watched them work closely, and I was pretty inspired by what they were doing, because it's selfless work, right? It's not like you're getting paid for it, but you just like doing organizing events, managing people. So that is what inspired me, like seeing them working closely with them. So yeah.
And so the music club, how did that like start off? And like I feel it just really shot up afterwards, because when I joined college, like the first music club performance, when I heard it in the canteen, I thought like the music club has been something which has been established for like a really long time. And then I realized like it was something that was brand new. So how did you get it to that level?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I did not have to do anything. Okay, like our college has so much talent.
That's true.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like the first time I came, and being a predominantly Catholic college, everyone is into music some way or the other. So I was just like, wow, everyone's into music. That's great. So where can I meet everyone who's into music? And there was no such place. So it was as easy as that. I mean, I just had the feeling that it'll be such a good thing if people, like-minded people come together and meet and like probably have a session or something. So I just spoke to the cultural secretary then, and they were all up for it, because they were also starting the dance club the same year. So both of them were started together, and it just turned out. I mean, there's so much talent in our college. People just started turning up for it, and it was a great. I mean, initially we had to push the whole thing, because no one was aware of it. It was pretty new, so we had to publicize it and stuff. But once it got going, it was. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of the music club?
Right.
And I wanted to ask you another thing. Like, what were some of your best memories in college?
Best memories in
Yeah.
college. So to one of the most like to all the new people you have joined in, you haven't seen Colosseum and Hysteria and how great it is and how the college is during that time. So that is definitely one of my biggest like nicest memories of my college life, because it just you guys have been there. You know how the college
Yeah.
transforms completely. It's an experience. Everyone should experience it. And secondly, when I was in the council, we had this leadership camp, a 1 week camp, which we go to Karjat along with all DBC leaders. So that was also a lot of fun, a lot of team building exercises, and it was great fun to bond with like-minded people. And yeah, those I did that for 2 years. Again, the people who are in the current council, it's very unfortunate that you guys
Yeah.
couldn't go for it. But yeah,
That's it.
those two things are the highlight of my college life. Yeah.
Also, when we talk about events, it comes to mind like our department days, like
Yeah.
algorithm and
Yeah.
vortex. So when those must have been like a lot of fun
Yeah.
practicing for that, and the main day itself.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was always fun, especially since I'm from mechanical. Vortex was like a party, man. It was like a carnival. Everyone would come together. The people we haven't interacted all year, literally the people who don't interact with a lot of people, are introverts, would come out suddenly. They would want to participate. They want to do something for the department. So that really brought the departmental spirit together, and it was great fun. I mean, I still remember I think I performed in the second, third, and my fourth year vortexes, and it was all crazy. It was all mad. It was great fun.
Yeah, I can still remember all the mechanical students shouting vortex,
Yeah,
vortex.
yeah. It was great fun, man. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So like apart from music, what other passions do you have? Like any other interests?
Uh, Apart from music, I love watching sports. I love watching football, cricket, F1, and I love traveling. And I'm also very interested in wildlife. In fact, it's my dream to like go to Africa and do all do all the safaris, wildlife. In fact, I had planned to go there after my graduation, but then it just got everything got
Yeah.
bundled up, so I couldn't go for it. But yeah, man. And apart from that, um, I'm also into writing, not for anyone or anything, but I just like to uh, pen down my thoughts, and it just so yeah. Sometimes I'm into reading, writing, and all that. Mostly music though.
Yeah. So I was gonna lead into that. So like does your writing help you with your songwriting?
That's the reason I started songwriting, because then I could express what I wrote in like a separate in like a different form, because I was always
Yeah.
into writing. I used to have like blogs when I was in the junior college. I used to have blogs. I used to um, write stories and stuff. So I was always into writing, but then once I learned the guitar, I could write songs, and I could like also give it melody. So that was pretty interesting to me. And that's how I started writing. I started writing in English because that was my go-to language when I used to write about
Yeah.
everything. And then slowly I transitioned into Hindi.
So like how did you get into writing in Hindi? Because I know a lot of people who write English songs,
Hmm.
but Hindi, like I think I know very few people. Like
Yeah. I mean, I think in a way, like whenever I listen to songs, I can listen to a lot of English songs, but it never hits home. Only few of the songs hits home. But when it's Hindi, it's there are few songs when I just connect to it. So in a way, I always wanted to write in Hindi, and I was always inclined to writing in Hindi because I'd also learned Hindustani classical. So in a way, I think it was always in me that uh, कुछ तो करके हिंदी म्यूजिक में आना है. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
just kept writing. In fact, a senior of ours, Sachin Mishra, so he has really good vocabulary when it comes to Hindi. So we used to write together in college as well, and he's the same guy who I wrote Pani with. So so both of us. So he was into poems, I was into music. So both of us started like combining.
You had like the right combination to
Yeah.
write
So
a song.
that's how I mean, there's no other. I mean, you just have to keep writing. That's the only way you develop good language skills, right? You either talk or you either keep writing. So that's how you come across new words. And if you like listening to some Hindi music, if you like some word, you note it down, and then you
Yeah.
probably yeah. So that's how it's like an ongoing process. I still do it. If I listen to a new song, I like some word, I type it in my notepad, and then I go back and see the meaning and see if I can use it in some way or the other. So that's how it is.
So like what were the challenges you faced when like writing songs, or do you like sometimes like get a writer's block?
Huge. I'm currently going through one right now. It's been since I think not since I started working, but I think it's been like 5-6 months now.
Yeah.
And it's the problem is I have a lot of ideas, but they are very spaced out. Like this is one idea, this is one idea. So I'm not finding the right
You got to
link.
connect them.
Yeah, there's no connection. So there's it's very difficult, honestly. I mean, to see the end product, it's easy, but like to go through that whole process, it requires a lot of time because it's art. It requires a lot
A lot
of
of
time.
patience also.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of patience, and there's no right time for it, right? Like one day in the
yeah,
night, you might suddenly see how
it'll
those
just
two,
like hit
yeah,
you.
yeah, it'll like a eureka moment. So
Yeah.
that's how it is. So currently that's how it's going. I mean, I have a lot of ideas, but I've not been able to join them. But the only way to get over it is keep on writing, and then somehow you find a link.
Yeah. So recently you released your song Pani on several platforms like Spotify, Apple
Yeah.
Music, Amazon Music. So what was the experience like, producing a song? Because I think this is the first song which you've produced like in a studio.
Yeah. It just feels it's just like a very surreal feeling because you like it's like you birthed the song, right? It's you
Yeah,
made
yeah,
the framework,
Right.
and then you add layers and layers and layers. So it was a great feeling, man. I remember the first time. This sounds very narcissistic, but the first time I heard like the
yeah.
final, I had goosebumps of my own song, and I'm like, so so yeah, but it was a great feeling. I mean, we took like 3 months to do the whole thing. We
Yeah.
added we took like 7 to 8 sessions. The studio was in Worli, so I used to go there every weekend, and um, yeah, so yeah, man, it was a great feeling, and it's pretty addictive. Like you do it once, you want to do that to all of your songs, but again, monetary wise, it's pretty expensive. So that's how it is.
And how has it been like seeing other people make covers of your song and it being shared on social media?
Man, the first time someone did that, I literally I was so touched because I mean I had to pinch myself. This is a song that I made because it's such a surreal feeling. Like someone else is connecting to your song so much that they
Yeah.
want to sing it and cover it and push it out. So yeah, the first time it happened, I was like very ecstatic. I didn't know what to, and yeah, but I mean, it just like I know that. So when it comes to Hindi music, there is slowly a rise in the indie scene, and the Bollywood music, Hindi music is not that
Yeah.
prevalent now because indie music is slowly rising. So it's a good sign. It's like a win-win because people are then listening to like independent artists rather
Yeah.
than. So yeah, it's a great feeling, man.
So I just have like a final question to ask.
Yeah,
So what advice would you give students who have just started their college life in DBIT?
I mean, when I look back at life, DBIT was like the best 4 years of my life. So just make sure whatever you do, you have fun. You make sure those are the best 4 years of your life, because I mean, I know it's difficult. Like I was also an introvert before I joined DBIT. I still am in a way, but you just have to come out of your shell. It's very difficult, but you just because you'll once you come out of your shell, you'll know that everyone is like you. Everyone things like you, everyone is equally nervous and confident like you. So you just need to come out of the shell, and I mean just have fun, man. Like 4 years of college, you won't get that back again. So
Yeah, I feel like it like a lot of opportunities are provided. You got to seize them. You
yeah,
can either
definitely.
complain and like not do
Yeah,
anything about it, but then
yeah,
you'll be the one losing in the end.
exactly. I mean, um, like for example, when it comes to the music club, I it's not like I did something out of the way, right? It's like the most normalest thing to do.
Yeah.
People have similar interests, just get them together. It's that easy. So that's how it is. Like you'll definitely find a group of people who are interested in the same thing as you are. So and there's definitely ways to make it a bigger thing, like make it an organization, make it a meeting, make it a like a evening meet after the college meet and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's I mean, you just have to take that step. You just have to take that leap. That is what is important.
All right. That's it from my side for this interview. So I'd like to thank you for the answering all our questions. And so now we have a small surprise for all of you watching. So we'll have Rohan performing his debut single Pani live on YouTube.
In the meantime, we have some news for you all.
Yeah. So this show Class Pack is something that Chriselle and I have thought about, and we wanted to introduce it for a long time now, but we finally got the chance to have it. So we want to start like a talk show in DBIT where we get to um have a better connection between the alumni and the students in like a casual setting.
Yeah, and this talk show is like also getting to know, like building an active relationship between the alumni and our students. We would also like to continue the series like with more sessions. For those of you who joined in late, you can still check out this live. So for the regular updates, go check out our Instagram page @DBIT Alumni.
And also the video will be uploaded here, so y'all can check it out over here. All right, so I guess Rohan is ready now for his performance.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you can
hi
start.
guys, this is Pani, and song is out on all streaming platforms. So I hope you guys like it. Dogs are going crazy. Can you hear it properly? मन में बसे अंधेरों से बादल छा रहे, फिसलते हुए किनारों पे तुझको बुला रहे, बरसाती है समा, अंधेरा है यहाँ, बूंदे गिरे नहीं, तू किनारों पे थमा, तू खुद की कर फिकर, धुंधली राहों तेरी नजर, पानी अपना रास्ता बनाएगा, तू खुद की कर फिकर, धुंधली राहों तेरी नजर, पानी अपना रास्ता बनाएगा, भीगी चली हवाओं से इरादे थम गए, मन में फंसी आवाजों से बादल चिल्ला रहे, दिन आधे से यहाँ दिन ढलता जा रहा, बिन सोचे ही कहीं तू सोते ख्वाबों में बसा, तू खुद की कर फिकर, धुंधली ना हो तेरी नजर, पानी अपना रास्ता बनाएगा, तू खुद की कर फिकर, धुंधली ना हो तेरी नजर, पानी अपना रास्ता बनाएगा, पानी अपना रास्ता बनाएगा, पानी नदियों में भी भर जाएगा. Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
But that was really good, Rohan.
Yeah.
It sounds, I feel like the live version and the studio version are exactly the same. There's no
Yeah.
difference.
Thank you so much, man. Means a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a great session. I had a great time.
Thanks, Rohan.
Me.
Thanks for being there. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we bring an end to this session of Classback. I would like to thank all those watching on YouTube for supporting us in our first event. And we hope to see you all for our next Classback event, which will happen pretty soon.